Morning, peeps. Good morning, everyone. Morning, peeps. Good morning, everyone. I keep saying good morning because it's super early here. It's just gone 6 a.m. over here in LA. We're here again in Radio City where all the media, no joke, turn out. Players come, former players, current players, coaches, wrestlers, actors, singers, literally everyone turns up and they sit on these tables and do a bit of media. So that's what we're here to do again today. Look, before we start the video, massive shout out to 888 Sports who sent me and Rory Jennings over here. I mean, this is the dream ticket, innit? This is ridiculous. Have you seen the prices of these tickets, by the way? Have you seen the prices? Like, $10,000 ain't getting you in. Ain't getting you in. So look, massive shout out to 888 Sports. Their link is in the description. Go and check out what content they've been doing. I think the first video about me and Rory over here drops, what day is it today? Drops tomorrow, I think Thursday. So look, massive shout out to them. I can't thank them enough. Put it that way, I can't thank them enough. All right, let's talk some boxing. The big news that dropped yesterday, I done a video speaking about Canelo. I mentioned what's going on with Canelo, who's he fighting in May. I said Golovkin would be the option I would like. It looks like it will be Dmitry Bivol. It looks like Canelo's going to sign a 2-fight deal worth anything between 80 and $100 million with DAZN to have a Dmitry Bivol fight in May, and then, providing that Golovkin gets past Murata, a fight in September against Golovkin, the trilogy. Let's talk about the Dmitry Bivol fight first. I've seen some reaction to this, and a lot of people are upset. Some people have even accused Canelo, which is ridiculous, of ducking Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo, obviously the WBC 160-pound champion. Dmitry Bivol, the unbeaten 175-pound champion. I like the Charlos. I think Jermall Charlo's a fantastic fighter. I've always said that I think Jermall Charlo's the better. You don't duck Jermall Charlo to fight Dmitry Bivol. You just don't. So if anyone is thinking that's what he's doing, they're wrong. I think Dmitry Bivol's a fantastic fighter, I really do. Is he what maybe he was a couple of years ago? You know, he had that inactivity. The British fans will maybe point to the Craig Richards performance and think, well, I mean, if that's what you're talking about, Ade, maybe he isn't that good. No, he is. He is. That gap that he had out the ring before the Craig Richards fight, I think led to that performance. It started that fight really well, and then he started to slow down. Dmitry Bivol right now is good to go. He's good to go, and I don't mean good to go in terms of an easy win. I think good to go in terms of he is ready. And I think it's an absolutely fantastic fight. And look, credit to Canelo. Again, we speak about fighters going on these runs. I mean, that would be, I don't know how many unbeaten fighters in the last sort of 3-4 years. Well, forget that. Unbeaten fighters in the last 14 months. Callum Smith, unbeaten. I'll take that O. Billy Joe Saunders, unbeaten. Give me that O. Caleb Plant, I'll take that as well. And now Dmitry Bivol. And I think this is a closer fight. Like, you know, normally when Canelo fights, it's the case of, okay, Canelo's going to win, then we move on. Like, even DAZN think that, right? Hence why they're talking about a 2-fight deal. This could be as tough as, man, I don't think it'll be as tough as the Golovkin fight, but I think anything other than that, this is as hard as it gets for him. Like, in terms of what he's done, the body of work in the last couple of years. So removing Golovkin, this is tougher than Callum Smith. This is tougher than Billy Joe Saunders, Dmitry Bivol, Danny Jacobs, Kovalev. This is as tough as it gets for him. So, look, credit to Canelo. Again, I can understand why people are upset that it's not a Jermall Charlo or a Benavidez, but this is harder. I'm sorry. He's going up in weight. Now, say what you want about Bivol being a small 175. He's going up and fighting a live dog, unbeaten world champion at 175 pounds. That has to be given respect. Now, let's move on to the Golovkin part. I like it. I don't mind a Golovkin trilogy. I mean, I'll take that. Let's see how Golovkin looks against Murata first. And then obviously it will mean Golovkin going up to 168 pounds, which I think is fine. At his age, he should be going up, right? I mean, to try and make weight, what is he, 39? Try and make 160 pounds at 39, it isn't easy, but I like the idea of a trilogy with Golovkin. I think Golovkin, I want to say deserves it. It's come far too late for me. Don't get me wrong. I think Canelo will beat Golovkin now comfortably, but he deserves it. He won the first fight. The second fight was controversial as well. I edged Canelo in that, but surely he deserves the trilogy fight. Surely he deserves that massive payday he will get. And again, for DAZN, massive. I think a lot of people have said maybe DAZN have struggled to secure the big ones, right? The real big ones. And maybe their adventure in America hasn't gone the way they wanted it to, but this helps. This helps. They've done business with Canelo before. The Billy Joe Saunders fight was really good business. They would have seen the numbers that Canelo did with Caleb Plant. They would have been jealous about that, right? That's something they would have wanted. This will do big numbers. Big signups, Canelo. He just guarantees you big signups, right? He's the face of boxing. He really is. And now that he's actually started speaking English as well, he sells the fight. The only issue is there won't be that. Obviously, Caleb Plant and Canelo had that beef, right? And it helped generate a lot more interest because we saw Canelo we had never seen before. It won't be that, but it still will be massive. So look, I love it. Sign me up for it. Now, one last thing before we talk about that. This will definitely be on that pay-per-view option that DAZN have now added, right? I mean, again, DAZN did come into the market and it was a case of no pay-per-view. I think, look, all businesses have to adjust and they're doing it. So this will be, I think, the first big one that drops on the pay-per-view platform. What I'm more interested about, it's going to happen, sorry. We understand that, right? I'm more interested about the fee, how much it will be. Now, that's going to be the big difference. Like, if this was on a PBC or a Showtime, what would a Canelo pay-per-view fight cost? $100? $80? It will be a good play from DAZN here if they go really low. So yes, we're doing pay-per-view. Yes, we've got to, but we're not going to go $80. You know, $40. Now, I don't think they can afford to do that. The amount we're hearing Canelo will get paid, but that would be a bit of a statement. Like, yes, we're in the pay-per-view market, but we understand how difficult it is, blah, blah, blah. Here you go, take that. Yeah, I think it'll be a mistake if they go in and go straight at the $80, $90 mark. And look, that's kind of what the going rate is in America. I still don't understand why it's so big compared to the UK, but that's the going rate. But I think it'll be good if they come in low. What do you guys think? All right, before we move on or close for the day, let's quickly go through a few stories. Sean Porter stands by, clarifies overrated remarks on Jaron Ennis. Obviously, you guys would have seen this. If you haven't, go and check it out. I think Sean said it on his own podcast, YouTube channel, which is fantastic. And I understand what he's saying. I really do. Now, look, we're not saying that Jaron Ennis isn't going to be the future king of 147 pounds, but I am very much on, okay, what have you done? What work have you done? We're crowning you the next best thing. Let's see a body of work first. Let's see you step up. Let's see you take on some B-level guys and maybe an A- guy before we start saying, or before everyone starts saying, oh, Jaron Ennis could. You know, when people are saying Jaron Ennis can beat Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, I'm like, what has he done? What have you seen that I haven't seen to tell me he can do that? Now, I understand if you say, oh, you know what, it will be competitive. I'll give you that. It will be to say he'll beat the pound for pound number 2 or 3 in Terence Crawford, to say he'll beat the unbeaten unified champ Errol Spence is ridiculous. And I think that's what Sean's alluding to. We are overrating Jaron Ennis. We're probably doing the same thing with Virgil Ortiz. These guys have got to do some work first before we start saying you're this and you're that. Again, that's not me saying he's not a great fighter. I think he's fantastic, but do some work. I've been watching the sport of boxing for a number of years to see really good guys kind of succumb to other fighters when they step up to the B levels and the A levels. We've seen it. We can all name hundreds of them. I don't think Jaron Ennis will be that, but let's see him do some work first. Eddie Hearn here on Andrade moving up to 168. We've got to try and make something happen. Yeah, he has to. He really does. It's got to the stage where I feel sorry for Demetrius Andrade. I do. We're talking a 2-weight world champion who unfortunately just hasn't had the fights. The fight that should have happened, obviously, was the Billy Joe Saunders one. Remember that? And Billy Joe Saunders had the issue with UCAD, who were okay, but Varda, who weren't, with a drug he was taking. So, look, it is disappointing for Andrade. At this stage, I think, was he 33, 34? I don't know, man. I'm not quite sure he's going to, like, history won't be kind to him, put it that way. History won't be kind to him. And I think he's a fantastic boxer. Awkward. Maybe style doesn't suit TV. They said that about Rigonda, like his style isn't great for TV. I don't know, but it's just not worked out, and it's a shame because he's not getting the fights. He really isn't. I think if I'm Eddie, make a big offer to Chris Eubank Jr. We'll see. I don't know. Chris will. That's what you've got to try and do, haven't you? It's starting to get busy here now. There's about, how many? There's about 40. I remember I said there's a couple of hundred tables here. There is. It's very, very early, but there's about 40 people already on tables. Again, I've got to say it, and I'm happy to say it. Massive thank you to 888 Sports for sending me out here. The link to their channel is in the description. But yeah, the tables are starting to get a bit busier. They got a lot of celebs. I hate the fact that I don't know them, because obviously this is the NFL, like it's not my bag. But there's a lot of famous people. You can tell they're famous because they've always got like 3 or 4 like people walking around next to them, ushering them in to different seats. I spoke to a few yesterday, and it's funny because I realised that means I can have a conversation with anyone about anything. That's why I do what I do. But it was weird to speak to some NFL guys yesterday, born in the UK, that have gone over to America, and just have a conversation not about NFL with them, and they loved it, because I guess the questions they get here are all NFL based, and it must piss them off a bit. All right, what have we got? Anything else? Tyson Fury, Usyk went life and death with Chisora, then beat a bodybuilder. Fury's talking a lot, innit? I see he's in Dubai right now, stepping up his training. Tyson Fury always looks heavy, like always looks out of shape, but I feel like he's starting from a higher point this time because he looks a bit bigger than I would have thought. But look, Fury's fantastic, he really is. I've gone against Fury too many times. Like the first Klitschko fight, first Wilder fight, second Wilder fight, I'm not going against him anymore against anyone. Usyk, AJ, whatever. I will favour Tyson Fury. I just have to. Do we have anything else? Felix Cash, look, we're going to do a separate video actually. I might do it now, straight after this one, about the DAZN card this weekend at Ali Pali. Look, unfortunately, I won't be there, which is a shame. It would have been nice to be at the first DAZN fight card. I love Ali Pali as a venue as well. Just because when I was growing up in the 90s, a lot of the fights were there. That's where it wasn't, obviously there wasn't no O2 Arena, which is the go-to. It was venues like obviously York Hall and Ali Pali. So it's a shame I'm not going to be there. But Felix Cash here motivated to topple Madiev. We'll see what Felix Cash can do. Obviously 2021 wasn't good to him out of the ring for personal issues. A lot of people seem to think that he can beat Chris Eubank Jr. I'm not sure about that. In fact, I don't think he can. But look, it'd be good to see Felix Cash back in the ring. But again, we'll do a separate video on that because I do want to talk about Johnny Fisher, what year I think he's going to have, Ellie Scotney as well. Female boxing is booming right now. And we'll talk about the main event as well, Danny Jacobs versus John Ryder. Both of these guys, I think, last chance, not last chance saloon, but if they want to get into that mix where they're potential opponents for world champions, then the loser unfortunately loses the right for that, don't they? But we'll talk about that anyway. Guys, look, have a great day. I have no idea what type this video is going to go out, but thank you so much for the support, for the love. Peace.